Kia ora koutou, and welcome to another episode of South Pacific Muscle. It feels like it's been a minute, man, and we've been off air. We've all been busy. My man Mike Tabb looking insanely tired, but somewhat awake. It's just come off his shows. Mike Kingsnorth, haven't heard much from Mike. I know he's been a busy man. And today's guest, finally got him on, Shannon Malik, so better known as Shansborough. The big brother from Hawke's Bay, world's biggest Indian. Good to have you on, bro. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, bro. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, it's a pleasure, bro. It's a pleasure. I really wanted to get you on because you actually offer something different to the usual bodybuilding stuff, man. Your Instagram is gold.
Yeah,
So
bro.
you got a different way of rolling, and I noticed a lot of the guys your age, the Insta games are really good and they're different. They've all got a point of interest, and yours is particularly funny. We could talk about that at some point. We'll have a look through that. But how's everyone been? Quickly, Mike Ted, how you been?
Yeah, as expected, still too fat in Wellington, cutting for nationals, skip Christchurch, another couple of weeks low and then fill up. So, as expected, 2-3 weeks out from a show.
Posing practice every day?
Oh, yeah, mate. Yep.
And Mr. Kingsnorth, how is life in the beautiful Bay of Plenty?
Mate, it was thunder and lightning today. Yeah, but otherwise pretty good as long as it's sunny in the weekends. And mind you, it doesn't matter because I work from home, so it's not the worst part of the world to live in.
Yeah. Shan, do you hear the thunder here today?
Yeah, bro. It's pretty crazy today.
Yeah, bro. It's off the hook.
Was that thunder or was that you dropping dumbbells?
No, bro. I'm not that strong.
Look, I'm going to put that in context. So, guys, I met Shannon at I think he was about 16 going on 17, Hastings Boys High School. Don't know how they managed not to jam him in the front row of a scrum, but when I talked to him, he said, not interested, I just like doing weights. And back then, I remember that you were around about the 200 kilo benchmark as a high school boy. So let's give it a bit of context. Shannon's I'm not that strong is yeah. And I noticed what I have noticed though lately is that your weights are starting to move up, like you're getting into the serious big boy range there, especially on your bar rows and things like that. So
Yeah.
good to see, bro. Do you want to give people a bit of a rundown? Just tell them about when you started training, what got you into bodybuilding, and what your aims are, and where you're at the moment.
Well, I started training when I was like, I think I was in like year 10. So I was like maybe like 14, 15. And originally when I first started training, I didn't even want to go train. It was because I was quite overweight at the time. My dad bought me a membership and he's like, look, you're getting quite fat. I'll buy you a gym membership, so start going. And I was like, all right. At first, I didn't like it. I was like quite intimidated because I used to train. He signed me up at Angels, and if you don't know,
Yeah.
Angels back then was just full of these big guys and like big powerlifters. And I remember my first day I walked in, it was just guys squatting with chains, and I was like, what's going on? Am I at the right gym? Yeah,
Oh,
but yeah,
hilarious.
but yeah, my training started at Angels, and then E-Frame's dad, Jamie Krigg, he
Yeah.
like he showed me how to train. He would like take me in and like he would run me through workouts and stuff. And it was like that for a few years before they got shut down. And then I've basically been training consistently since I was like 14, 15. Like my biggest break from training was probably from the first COVID, which was like 2 months.
Yeah. And were you stuck down here or in Auckland during that lockdown?
Oh, I was stuck in Auckland. That was my first year at uni at that time, and yeah, like I couldn't really do anything during that time, so I just like withered away.
Did you find that? Did you find
sorry.
that good for your body? Are you still young enough? You don't need breaks.
Oh yeah, I still take a. I think I use that time. Like I remember when the lockdown happened, I was like, oh, this is probably going to be a long lockdown. So I'll use this time to give my body a really long break because I've always been training consistently. and it was worth it, I reckon. Like I got really weak and small by the end of it, but I got it back in like 2 weeks. So I was like fine. But
Have you ever heard of a guy called Victor Richards, Shannon?
yeah, bro, the American guy with the really
Yeah,
massive arms.
yeah. He came over here what year did he come over here, Mike?
94.
94. He came over here, and we had never seen anything like him. And when I saw you in some of your recent pictures, I went, he's kind of like a young Victor Richards. And I showed someone, because someone in the gym asked me who Victor Richards was, and I showed them a picture of a big Victor Richards, and I said that's what he could look like, and they were like, "Ah," and like it's very rare nowadays to see a good young heavyweight bodybuilder. So the first thing I did when I spotted you was like, this guy's got to be on stage. He's going to be a great bodybuilder. But then I had Paul Kingy, who I introduced you to. Do you remember that? Over at
Yeah, I remember that.
This is really funny. So Paul Kingy met Shannon, and he called up. He said to this this young Indian boy, he said, "Come here, come here." And Paul Kingy's massive. You imagine him, sumo champion, K1, Fort Bob Sapp, WWE contract, New Zealand's strongest man. And he said to this Indian boy, "Is this not the biggest Indian you have ever seen?" And the guy kind of looked at Paul and went, "Yes, yes, sir." And we laughed. And Paul said, "You've got to do something with your size, mate. You can make a lot of money with this." And so, I guess, the importance at that point then of showcasing your physique, and that hopefully you realise that. But I noticed since then your social media game has been second to none. What's going on there, bro?
I really don't know. I, I don't even know where to start because at first I used to just post like just straight bodybuilding stuff, like just pump pics from the gym and all that, and I got like a decent amount of growth from it. But it wasn't until like I like started TikTok and like I started doing like funny videos and like memes, just like that's when like everything kind of like started taking off.
Me.
And then like a few of my lifts, like yeah, it's just like lifting videos as well, just like pull-ups with weighted pull-ups, like rows, like just like old school hardcore training,
It's
Yeah,
crazy. So you're something like 90 something thousand followers on Instagram.
yeah, I've got like 94 or something. I've been gaining like 1,000 a day, which is crazy.
I actually noticed that. I looked at. I went, "There's 1,000 more than it was the other day."
Yeah,
So we got a party going on at 100K, bro.
hopefully I'll probably planning on something next week, I think, because I'll probably hit it next week and I'll probably do something for it.
Like go and train heavy legs or something, right?
Yeah, just go train heavy.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be you, mate. Whenever there's a milestone, what are you going to do? Go to the gym. Easy. Hey, Mike, can we pull up his Insta so we can have a bit of a flick through?
Oh, you talking to me?
Yeah, mate.
I'm not prepared, sorry, dude. But yeah, I'll pull something out. Oh, is that when you messaged me today and said, "Oh, Insta," but I should have that ready?
Yeah, that would be the one, bro.
Sorry, I missed all that. Prep brain, bro. Prep brain.
I'm giving you that because it's prep brain.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah. Hey, Shan, and just out of interest, are you actually interested in competitive bodybuilding, or are you still toying with the idea, or have you got other plans?
Well, my plan, well, I don't really know because just like bodybuilding and right now in New Zealand, like there's not much of a good prize other than getting like your pro card for me. I really want to just get into the business side of things and like I've been doing the social media stuff mainly just to gain traction. So when I do start like online coaching, I'd have like I'd have like an unlimited supply of clients like who can just come to me and I don't have to like find them.
Yeah,
So
man.
it's mostly just marketing myself to for future business
So
opportunities.
you picked yourself up a sponsor recently too.
Yeah, I've got like 4 sponsors right now.
Right, man. Do your due diligence and let's hear your sponsors and any promo codes, bro, because I'm sure people want to use them. So, who you got?
Yeah, I've got Gorilla Mind, which is like a pretty big American company.
Yep.
And then I've got a Gym Gorilla Mind.
It's,
It's like
more plates, more dates, guy, isn't it?
yeah, that's his company.
Yeah.
Yes. So he's basically my boss.
Like,
And then I've got Gympin, the UK company that
Yeah, man.
makes you know, those extensions and stuff
Yep.
for gym equipment and all that. And yeah, and I've got like a clothing one which is like Uprising,
Yep.
which I guess basically just send me free clothes, I guess, and you know, get a code for it as well.
Nice.
And I've got like another one which is called Intelligent Shop, which is like they do like I guess like experimental, like you know, supplements like
Yeah.
testosterone and like ecdystron and all that stuff.
So,
Yeah.
So if people want to check out those supplement sponsorships that Shan's got, if you look at the top of his Insta, and Mike, can you just bring that on up for a second?
Yep.
So it's Shan's Insta is shans.bra. Look, you're probably already there. Let's be fair. Mike, you're not. You better give him a follow there, bro.
Sorry,
got his,
prep brain again.
That's all right. And he's got his sponsorships up there. You can get on there, and I'm sure if you haven't got a code there, Shan will give you one. But it's really good to see, man. It's good to see you. We've got that the business behind the bodybuilding, which is interesting. And I know, Mike, you've always been focused on the business behind the bodybuilding, Mr. Kingsnorth. Any comments around that side of it?
Mate, just curious about no advice. He obviously knows what he's doing and he's got his head screwed on in the right place. But what are you studying at uni?
Well, I was starting to become a PE teacher, but I put it on hold because
Don't do it.
I didn't want to be a PE teacher.
Mike Tao is a PE teacher. So we've got one PE teacher here already.
You could be just like Mike. You could have a, you could have a lift.
Old, broken, and skinny.
There you go. So no, really impressed at you reaching out for these businesses. Do they contact you or do you contact them?
Most of them contacted me, but for Gorilla Mind, I had to try wiggle my way in that one because.
Nice. Well, I mean, you obviously, you've got a great head on your shoulders if you're going after that. But just all I say is just make sure you are consistently delivering to your sponsors. It's very easy. I sponsor a number of elite athletes with from All Blacks and so forth, and sometimes they just think the occasional picture is enough, and it's like, nah, if there's nothing in it for the sponsor, then you're gone like yesterday's newspaper. So just keep delivering for them and they'll keep delivering you. And you'll end up, a great example, if anything, you look at Evan Centopani, who hasn't competed since God knows what, 2016 or something, and he's still with, who's he with? He's with Animal, or Universal or something. So, because he keeps delivering for them. So that's all you got to do.
So you've obviously got a bit of momentum there. 16,000 views for a side tricep, or 16,000 likes for a side tricep. That's pretty good. 21,000 likes.
I usually get 16 on my side tricep. That's it. 16, and I have to promote it as well. That's awesome, man. What do you do in terms of? Is anything you're doing in particular in terms of engagement to get that kind of numbers?
Well, it's mostly just through TikTok. I built most at the start. I built most of my audience through TikTok.
Yep.
Because like I wasn't really getting anywhere with Instagram at the time. It took a while for my Instagram to like hit the algorithm.
Yeah.
So I had to go through TikTok first and try build it up, and then I slowly try to get them to go over to my Instagram and to follow it and start engaging with it.
What sort of content are you delivering on TikTok? I mean, I'm assuming you're doing the typical, Mike Tab dance moves and. What are you putting out there?
Oh no, it's mostly just like funny videos and stuff. It's more like humor stuff.
I notice you play a lot on the being introverted, and which you kind of are anyway, right? You're not, you're a pretty quiet dude in the gym and all the rest of it, but you play on that kind of shy of woman kind of thing a bit. And you've got some real crack up videos in there, and like you'll play on stereotypes about Indian boys. I thought that was fucking gold, mate. He does some funny little
Sorry, we need some sound, don't we? Oops.
You Indians are fucking everywhere.
So did she mean that you're everywhere, or that everywhere she goes, you guys are there fucking each other?
That's where punctuation's important, Mr. Kingsnorth.
It's basically like
It's
It should have been a PE teacher.
when you got like
literally like we're
you
everywhere.
got 40,000 likes out of you got 90,000 followers, give or take, and 40,000 likes. That's a high percentage liking your.
That's
stuff.
off the planet, Tab. Let me tell you, I researched this back when I've had other athletes who had, in the tens of thousands, and I reverse engineered the maths on it, and the amount of engagement they had meant that it was really probably more like 2,500, and bots were the rest. Whereas I've had an athlete with, similar sort of engagement, 50%, and that's just unheard of. You're blowing the algorithm to pieces.
About 101,000 views, likes.
Yeah. On some videos they pop up. Like I've had a video get like 1 million likes before on TikTok. Yeah, like just like dumb little videos like this. They
That's
do
gold.
well.
And look, I share your sense of humor, bro. So
Yeah.
What do you weigh to be chinning with that kind of weight under you? I mean, usually the heavier you are, the harder it is to chin up.
Yeah, I'm weighing like around like 130, 34, 32.
Wow. Even with all the weights I used to hang below me, I didn't even weigh that much with weights hanging. Chinning.
No, it's really impressive to see. Hey, how are you enjoying training at? I keep wanting to say Physique 2000 at Aspire. How's that going?
I like it there. It's like a really old school gym, and it's quiet. Because usually when I go to like busy gyms, I'll get like a lot of kids wanting to talk and all that, which will like interrupt my training and stuff. But yeah, I usually just I like it there because it's quiet, and I'm able to just focus.
Yeah, because it's got really nice gear. It's like old, like that gear is probably older than me. I remember training on that when I was 15. So it's Polaris gear, and it had been around for a while then. So that equipment is now 35 years old at least, but it's good. There's some real good kit.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. If
the dumbbells are pretty heavy too.
Yeah, man. Hey, if you can convince Jamie, I know he's got a Polaris hack squat, which is the best hack squat I've ever used, and he's got it in storage. You should try and get it back in the gym, because then I'll come and have a training.
Does he have it in storage?
Yeah, wrapped up, man. Wrapped up in glad wrap. So, and it's the best piece of kit, man. It was a vertical, pretty much a vertical hack squat, and they cut it down to 45 degrees. And I've never had a hack squat ever that was better than that. It was so good. So he's got it.
Because we've been having to make makeshift ones.
Yeah, definitely. Try and get him to get it back out. It's a good piece of kit, man.
Yeah, I'll definitely hit him up.
Yeah.
I noticed on your Insta there you've got a coach you acknowledge. Tell us about your coach. Who are you working with?
I'm working with Kane. His name's Kane Dominus, and I've been working with him basically since I was 15. And so that's like my way of like saying thanks. I guess I just put him in my bio because it helps him out.
Yep.
And he obviously he coaches me for free as well. So
now everyone's going to be hitting him up for free training.
Now, when is that around kind of periodizing your weight training, or I mean, does he do nutrition stuff with you? What sort of?
Yeah, it's like nutrition and programming and all that, and it's always different. Like we're working like different training blocks and all that.
What are you training for, mate? Do you want to get bigger? Do you want to get stronger? Are you trying to do both? Do you focus predominantly on one more than another? Are you trying to develop shape? I mean, do you have an end goal in mind? Do you want to be the next Nate Williams and do bodybuilding, powerlifting, and strongman, or do you actually want to take something seriously?
Well, right now it's just mainly just to just to look good, I guess. It's mostly just to look good.
All that.
Mostly look good and also become stronger, and just achieve like some really insane, stupid strengths. That's why I like to test my lifts on like unconventional lifts as well.
Oh, okay.
Like weighted pull-ups and stuff, and like barbell rows. Like I was just like
That's cool, bro.
testing strength.
What's your max barbell row?
Well, I've done like 180 for like with like really solid form. Like I've gotten like 4 reps without any swinging or anything like that, just like straight solid form. But I'm mainly just trying to get like a really high weighted pull up. I want to try hit 4 plates on that one by the end of the year.
Ooh, I've got to say, in terms of trajectory, I've got no doubt that you'll achieve that, because I trained with yourself and Conan, and that was about 18 months ago, and you guys are doing 120 kilo rows. So, you put 60 kilos on your rows in 18 months. So, I would imagine. Yeah, I'd imagine that you'll knock off those targets pretty quickly the way you're going. So what your training history now? You're what, 6 years into training?
Yeah, about 6 years. Yeah, it's like a quarter of my life.
What do you do during the day, mate? You just training only, or do you work somewhere, or what's that mean?
Well, I've been studying. Since my since my uni's been put on hold, I've been doing my getting my certificate in my personal training.
Okay.
So that eventually I can do online coaching and all that, and hopefully start my own business.
When are you done with your PT cert?
Well, I've just got like one exam left, so
Sweet.
maybe yeah.
And
Hopefully, like this week.
clients, if we've got any viewers or listeners that are ready to get on board.
Yeah, I'll probably be taking clients. Probably not that much at the start. Maybe like 5.
Are you gonna do just online stuff or hands-on PT?
Probably just online stuff. Because a lot of my followers are all from the States.
Yep.
And I want to try attract those clients.
Yeah, man. That'd be cool. You know
who this guy reminds me of is a couple of guys. One young mohawk wearing Steve Orton back in the day used to, when he was like 21, used to have crazy, following and engagement because again he was young, super big, super strong, and I think it's that youth thing. And that was pretty much why I sponsored Steve and not other equally big people who were a bit older. And then who's the shot putter? Jacko Gill also used to put a lot of social media imagery up there of him doing all sorts of crazy lifting and just bizarre stuff, jumping between park benches and all sorts of stuff. Again, young, big, strong. Seems to be a lot of engagement out there in a world where we're meant to be a little bit anti-masculinity, I guess, in this day and age, and they call it toxic or whatever. Seems to be the young, big, strong guys. They're getting a pretty good following.
Yeah, it's funny because like you sit back as you got to remember, we're what are we all 20, 30 years older than Shan, right? And when you look at the social media, a lot of my friends that are sort of my age that look at it go, man, that social media is weird. I don't get it. And I'm like, I get it. It's fucking cracking the algorithm, and you've got to kind of look at it and remember that, the people that are setting the trends are the Shans, are the young guys that are cracking it on social media, and girls and the influencers. They're not the guys that are in their 50s with families and paying mortgages and all that kind of carry on, right? We're sort of in a different generation. And it's really exciting to see people that have got a good grip on the technologies and the different platforms and are maximizing, their opportunities, not only now, but for their future. Because like Shan says, in 2 years' time, when he's got fucking 500,000 followers or more, I don't know what that trajectory is like, but he can open any business and he's automatically got himself a target audience there. So, yeah. Good thinking, bro. Well ahead of what I was at. How old are you now? Do you crack 20 yet?
Well, I'm 21 now.
21. Oh, you're getting old, bro. Getting old.
Yeah.
Only a few more years left. Yeah, so at 21, certainly I didn't have the vision for the future like that, which is kind of cool. Who influences that kind of thing, man? Who do you look to as sort of role models on the business side of things?
Well, I follow like a lot of TikTokers from the States, and I follow like people like, oh, there's this girl, like, and then there's a guy called Max Taylor, who also like basically pulls millions of views, and they're obviously doing well for themselves, and they're like in the same niche as me. And so like when I look at their videos, like when I first started TikTok, I was like, oh, I want to do like something similar to them, but obviously, something different. And I kind of used what they did and like implemented into my own strategies, and like, I got inspiration from that, and I just put my stuff out there.
Cool. So have you had anyone?
It seems to me that when you get ahead of the game, you come up with the next big thing, and it blows up. You can't sort of copy too much. You can't go, oh, that seemed to work really well, I'll get on board with that. It sort of seems like the wave has passed or the trend has passed. The old Joseph Rakic effect. Got sort of ahead of the game with the the online sort of algorithm thing and sort of computer generated sort of programming, and just blew up for him. But you couldn't replicate that now. You couldn't copy that and do the same thing. You kind of got to get the next big thing before it blows up.
Definitely out of my league anyway.
They all seem to have their own. I like how you talked about you thought about the strategy about what you're going to do with your social media, and so it wasn't just I'll put shit out there and see if it sticks. Throwing undies at a wall. You actually had an idea, a plan, and you wanted it to be authentic to your personality, which is people smell bullshit a mile away, particularly in this industry and this game now. And I think because you're doing it your way, telling your story, people are enjoying that, and it's no different to all the other guys that we've seen do it quite well. I think it's that authenticity tacked onto a really cool story. Obviously, you're a big guy. I mean, if you were, with all respect, 75 kilos and ripped, people perhaps wouldn't pay as much attention. So you obviously, and that doesn't happen by accident. You're getting in the gym and lifting some heavy shit and making that happen for yourself. So you're earning everything that you do.
Hey, Shan, what I thought I might do is get some of your top tips if you had to give us.
I know.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh yeah. So my top
three top tips for young guys getting in the gym.
Well, the first one's always got to be you got to be consistent, because if you can't get huge overnight. It took me like 6 years.
Oh, you poor thing! 6 years is such a long time.
And then the second one's just like and then the second one's obviously just enjoy it. Don't overthink it. Just show up and have fun and lift weights. And then for the third one, another good tip is to go with your friends, because it's always harder when you do it by yourself at the start.
You've got a couple of young guys that you train with. Who are you training with at the moment?
Oh, they're just like my mates from school, and that they do powerlifting and stuff, but we always just go to the gym around the same time.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's good to have a crew, man. Like, I've got to say, as you get older, you kind of miss a bit of that. But tonight in the gym, I had one of my friends from Wellington who won Mr. New Zealand Athletic last year, and I had Nigel White, who's going for the pro card in men's physique. So there was the three of us with an average age well over 45, and we were the most jacked guys in the gym, and it was so good. It was like, yes, I've got my boys, we've got a crew in here. So so always enjoy training with crew. So that's good advice for people. Get with your friends and have some fun in the gym. That's choice.
Yeah.
You said it earlier on, and you said that it's your first most important thing, and I mean, it's the, I talk about the CIA, the consistency, the intensity, and the accuracy of what you're doing, and you put consistency at number one, and that's why I just smiled when you said it, because I'm like somebody who gets it, So it's in anything that you do, whether it be art, judo, study, training, consistency is key.
Hey, talking about art, you're touching that armor, but have you got a new bit of ink there, Shannon?
Oh yeah, I got a new tattoo here.
That's like a fucking leg. That's like a leg sleeve size bit, man. That's massive. Oh, that's cool. Who did that for you? Who did that one, bro?
Cara Alexis.
Me.
Do you know who Cara Alexis is?
No.
Yes, it's a lady out in Havelock.
Nice. There you go, guys. If you want some ink and you've got an arm the size of most human legs, then she's your artist. Hey, we are going to pull a wrap, guys, but as we always do before we cut off, Shan, we're going to pass the mic over to you to do a shout out to anyone that's helped you in your journey, anyone that sponsors, friends, family, people that have been supportive or helped you along the way. So, my friend, the floor is yours.
So, well, thanks for having me on, and I'd like to give a big shout out to my coach, Kane, the boys, and obviously my dad for getting me into the gym.
Nice. Awesome, bro. Hey, look, been really good. Now that I know you're based in Hawke's Bay, I only found out like a week ago. I will be catching up in person. I want to come down and just have a train and be around some guys that are smashing some real weight, so might be quite motivating for me. But awesome. Thanks again for coming along. Mike Kingsnorth, thank you, and Mike Tab, all the very best for your upcoming shows. And to the rest of the people out there,